Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today we're doing another pick a card or pick a photo tarot reading, and we will be looking at your next steps in life, what your next chapter will be like, what can you encounter, what is the overall energy and themes that you may already be experiencing but will definitely be experiencing in the near future. We're talking the next couple of days, weeks, and months. Once you've asked this question, set this intention, take a look at all three groups on screen and select whichever one of these photos you feel most drawn to. We have group number 1 with the street. It looks like there's some stores there. Group number 2 with the sky and the clouds and a plant. And group number 3 with the ocean and sunset. Just feel whichever group is calling to you, the one that your eye keeps returning back to. You can certainly feel drawn to more than one group, or maybe even all of the groups. So if you want to watch more than one, that's totally fine. Just take note of which one you feel most drawn to. That is your reading, and you can skip ahead to your reading using the timestamps, or you can watch through. While I have you here, I just want to say a gigantic thank you to everyone who has been subscribed, who participates in this community by leaving comments, sharing your stories. I just absolutely love all of you so much, and I love how much support we can all give each other here and sort of like share our lives. I really strive to make this channel a safe space for anyone. So, I encourage you to share your stories. And if there's any trolls or really, really negative people, I'm gonna delete your comment, like straight up. But while I have you here, also, I want to let you guys know that I really value your opinions. So if there's any videos that you want me to make in the future, any pick a card reading topics or questions you want me to focus on, leave that in the comment section, okay? Because I'll totally do it. I mean, I've been doing pick a card readings for years now, so yeah, give me your ideas, guys. I think I've done everything. Just give me your ideas. What do you want? All right. And if you have a very specific set of circumstances that cannot necessarily be covered in a general tarot reading on YouTube, go ahead over to my website, spiritpsychic.org, to get yourself a personal reading. All of my readings, I get you started by offering a certain theme, but in reality, you pretty much end up asking whatever questions you want anyways. So even if you want a reading with me but none of the readings really stick out to you, just get one, because most of them are in a format where you can ask whatever you want anyways. So go ahead and do that. I also offer spiritual life coaching sessions, which are really, really cool. So essentially you'll get daily email correspondence with me, and once a week I will do an hour-long video reading for you. And you can ask whatever questions about any topic that you want each and every week. And it's just an amazing offering to have a really in-depth reading once a week. I'm telling you, it can be highly transformative. And my favorite thing about the spiritual life coaching sessions is that you don't have to schedule anything. Okay, this is all via email, and I will do your reading and send it to you. So there's no appointments. That's kind of why I designed it that way, because I don't know about you, but I hate making appointments. I hate live meetings and phone calls and video calls. It's just not my vibe, So I made it in that format for people like me. So go ahead and get that as well, especially if you're going through anything right now, or you just have so many questions for spirit, or even for me. It's just a great way to get guidance in life. And also, I mean, since I, am sitting here talking about all my services, you might as well go to the apothecary as well. And get yourself an intention oil. I have my 3 intention oils up there. The original Goddess Energy intention oil, which is extremely powerful stuff. Those who have it, okay? You literally anoint yourself with this oil, or any of your objects, really, and it will have you radiating goddess energy. Just people will be attracted to you, opportunities will be attracted to you, circumstances will be attracted to you. I also offer my money and abundance oil. I can't even go into detail about how powerful that one is, guys, straight up. I mean, the first time I ever used it, I got over 500 new subscribers on my second channel, which ended up getting monetized. And then I wore it again, anointed myself again, randomly got $500 that day. It's very powerful. And then of course there is the third eye open intention oil, which, as you can imagine, is really amazing for connecting you with spiritual experiences, epiphanies, and actually it's really good for connecting you with like your soul tribe, you know, really faded kindred souls and connections. So go ahead and get that too. That is all I'm offering for right now. I have like 1,000,001 more ideas for things I want to do in the future, but I'm not even going to talk about it because I always do this thing where I talk about what I want to do and then it never happens. So, you know, I'll announce things as I, you know, work on them and release them. But for all, that's everything. Okay. Thank you guys. Let's get into the readings now. Hello, group number 1, and welcome. Let's see what's next in life for you. So I'm not going to try to guess where you're at in life right now. Just take these messages if they resonate with you, and if they don't, this might not be your reading. Okay, let's dive into it. First off, we have wind in reverse. Wow. This is what it looks like upright. So the spirit of wind itself is coming through as a spirit guide for you and really illuminating that in the upcoming future, there's going to be so many changes taking place for you. The spirit of the wind really does talk about changes in life, you know, really letting go of what doesn't serve you and embracing what does serve you. When wind comes as a medicine, which it is when it's coming out in reverse, you're being invited to recognize the value of chaos. Oh my gosh, guys, chaos will come. A good type of chaos. Okay, windstorms provide necessary chaos to clear the air and spread seeds so plants and trees can take root in new fields. Right now, it may seem as if your world has been turned upside down, but this is a temporary storm that will blow over. Perhaps communication has broken down between you and another, or your many to-do lists are overwhelming you. The medicine is to simplify, slow down, course correct if you need to, and wait out the storm to clean things up. Just know that all storms have great value if you can remain neutral during their course. Greater clarity and good things will come from it all. Remember, this too shall pass. I don't know why, as I was reading that, I got the message come through of if you can't decide now, then don't make a decision. So it feels like there's a lot that's breaking down for you in life. You know, the life that you've built up for yourself, the home, the environment that you're in, the relationships that you have, your lifestyle, you may be really, really questioning all of those things right now and contemplating, is this actually for me? Is this actually where I want to see myself in the next 5 years? Do I want to continue growing where I'm at, or do I want to completely transplant myself, uplift myself, unroot myself from this reality and create a new reality for myself? But the message isn't clear for you currently. You know, you don't know what changes will happen. All you know is that you feel that change is coming. You feel like the chaos that comes with change is upon you. And all you have to do is really focus on surviving through this period, first and foremost, but also cleaning away anything that needs to be cleaned away, cleared away. Okay, at this time, the universe, spirit may be bringing up old connections, old projects, old ideas, everything to be analyzed. You're sort of in this judgment day energy where you are deciding, you know what, this isn't worth my time, this is worth my time. Many of you may even feel called to do things such as clearing out your house. Or like I said, you may be having like literal opportunities or relationships or something like that from the past that you have a long history with coming back up for some reason to be analyzed. Very interesting. What's next in life for you? We have the world in reverse. Wow. Guys, I feel intuitively that there's going to be a really big shift taking place in your life in the near future. Okay? Like your whole entire world that you've built sort of crumbling in a positive way in order for a whole new fresh beginning to happen here. For example, some of you guys may feel guided to move. You may have always said, like, I don't want to settle in this town. I don't want to live here. I have this dream, this idea to, I don't know, whatever your idea is, you know, move to a certain city, move in general, you know, have a house with land, or maybe like a condo in a city. Whatever your dream, your goal is, I'm seeing this desire has always been with you. but life and circumstances have sort of kept you planted in the same space here. I'm intuitively picking up that for a lot of you, it was within your best interest, your best means, to have this sort of rooted and settled life for a few years, you know, where things were like normal, things were almost boring, routine, because during that time, during that boring time, you actually did so much healing. And I see that the big focus for you during that time was actually to sort of undo a lot of generational wounds and curses, you know, the things that your family has struggled with for many generations. You really analyzed, picked apart within yourself, and have been overcoming these things, which is incredibly beautiful. It does take time to do that. You know, the healing journey takes many years. And I feel like this sort of normalcy, this groundedness, this routine, this peace that you sort of cultivated for the past several years has been really, really necessary in order to facilitate that healing. But now there's a change in the wind, and you find yourself asking, is this actually the life that I want long term? Wow, we have the 4th chakra in reverse. Yeah, the problem here, the reason why I think there's a sense of indecision when it comes to these changes taking place is because you are very much in love with your current life. Like, you have so many heart ties to your current life. For example, if you've always wanted to move to a particular city and the opportunity never arose, years went by, and you really grounded yourself, rooted yourself in your current community, with your current friends and relationships and job and all of that. It's like you were making your roots deeper and deeper and deeper. Just like how with a plant, the longer it's in the ground, the harder it's going to be to uproot it because its roots grow deeper and deeper. But it's not impossible. And I feel like your heart may be creating some sense of confusion within you, because it's like, this was an idea that my soul had for the longest time. You know, it feels right to do, but it's like at the same time now I have these other connections, these other responsibilities. Some of you guys may be having to factor in things like romantic partnerships, pets, children, your family, your friends, etc. When it comes to these changes that are taking place. And because you have these heart ties, these soul ties, it makes your decision a little bit more difficult, as opposed to saying like having no soul ties, no connections, and being able to just up and go whenever you want. You see, there's a pro and a con to each of those lifestyles. You know, people who are constantly on the go, constantly traveling, you know, that's great. The sense of freedom there is immaculate. The experiences you have are immaculate, but, you know, in order to have that sort of lifestyle, it does come with the sacrifice of, you know, not always having a strong sense of community, sometimes feeling on your own, sometimes feeling lonely. And the same thing is true in reverse, you know, by having a nice, strong, grounded existence in one spot, it has a beautiful side effect of community and heart-based relationships and connections and all that. And you can really blossom your life in that one spot, but that's the thing. You're sort of stuck to that one spot here. And I feel like your soul itself may be sort of battling between which of these lifestyles you really want. And it's not to say that you can't find a way to compromise and meet in the middle with these two decisions within yourself. You know, for example, you could totally be a homebody who prioritizes one community and sort of blossoming in your home. But you know what? Where you're currently blossoming at may not be an ideal place for you. And that's where this confusion is coming in. And that's why there's another part of you that's like, we need to move, we need to get... I don't know why I keep coming back to moving for you guys. That's just an example, a very strong example that I feel like a lot of you may be dealing with, but it doesn't even have to be your physical location. This could even be like your job, your career that you find yourself planted in. You may have tons of experience in your career, great credentials, but you know, maybe your soul wants to do something that is totally brand new, and it's like, wow, if I start that, I'm really going back to square one. I'm going back to like a beginner salary, or you know, starting a business. It's like salary is not even guaranteed there. It's a big risk when you find yourself very secure, grounded, and having that consistency in life. It takes a lot of bravery to go from that consistency and that solid, stable, either like income or routine, where things are promised, things are, you know, stable, steady, to something that's more affiliated with your soul and what your soul wants to do, but that security is not necessarily promised. It's a very tough decision and it requires a lot of bravery. And wow, would you look at that? You literally have walking away in reverse to really validate everything we just picked up on. And we see here, she is leaving the gates of her security. Wow. If you're watching this around the time that I am posting as well, I feel like this change may happen sooner rather than later, because we see spring cherry blossoms there. And at the time I'm filming this, it's like the tail end of winter. And the first of the spring trees are now just starting to blossom a little bit. So I feel like it doesn't matter what time you're watching this, within the next few weeks or around the next springtime for you, there's going to be a big change taking place. This card reverse signals that you may be feeling stuck in some present situation or location. Exactly, I'm reading this from the book, guys. There may be a job or a relationship that no longer resonates with you, yet out of habit or perhaps fear, you may allow yourself to stay when it might be healthier to consider walking away. Guys, this is a really tough decision for you, because you know what? Whatever this thing is, whether it's a job, a relationship, a location, perhaps all of the above, it's not toxic. That's what makes it so hard to walk away from. It does not feel toxic. It does not feel negative. This may be a totally great job, totally okay location with its benefits, totally okay relationship that supports you, but there's just a little bit of something missing, like from your soul here. Habit and familiarity are compelling forces, often causing people to ignore their intuition or even dishonor their genuine feelings. Oh my gosh, I feel for you guys so much. Like, my heart goes out to you. This is a time of honest investigation. Consider all of the factors in the present situation. Perhaps the timing isn't quite right, and there may be some purpose in staying a little longer, or a little while longer. Don't deceive yourself about your motivations, however. Fear-based decisions don't often work out in your highest interests. You may also be stuck in a long-term personal habit or unhealthy pattern. Be aware that you always have the option and the responsibility to let go of any thought or behavior that no longer honors you. Whenever you walk away from negativity, you always move towards greater happiness. And the affirmation for this, I want you to pause and say this: it is safe and comfortable for me to move on. I consider all my options and then take action on my own behalf. What a powerful affirmation. I feel like you guys really need to sit down, look at yourself in the mirror and say that to yourself. It is safe for me to move on. I analyze all decisions, all possible outcomes, and I make the best decision based off of my own behalf. Powerful, powerful stuff. Wow. You're at the precipice of a whole new life for yourself, a whole new world for yourself, essentially. This is a big decision. This feels like relationship, career, location. Those three things really stick out to me because these are the things that define us, the people around us, where we are physically, and what we spend most of our time doing. These are the things that really change everything about our life. Your location is where your energy is growing and rubs off on you immensely. The people you surround yourself with, that's like 90% of your personality right there. And then your career, or what you choose to do with most of your time, that's literally your purpose in life. That's your contribution to the world. So when you make a decision to change any of those things, it is extremely impactful. And I understand why you may be a little bit resistant to making said change, or not fully trusting your intuition, or that little nudge within yourself saying, you know what, is this all there is to life? Should I be changing something? Should I be making some sort of bigger change and move here? We have the void, of course, moon coming out. Oh my gosh, nothing will come of this situation. Guys, I'm gonna spit it real quick, okay? Like I said, you feel to be in a content situation in life, content relationship, content job, content location, okay? But this is really confirming for me. Nothing is really gonna grow massively if you stay where you're at, okay? All right, I'm gonna get a really hardcore example here. There's definitely people watching where it's like a relationship and it's nice, maybe long-term, very contented, very peaceful. However, you may have always dreamed of like marriage or children or traveling the world and just banging in like every country, you know, whatever your dream is with love, you know, you have that. And you may already know that the person you're with is not going to grow into that dream. Like some of y'all watch, and it's like, if, for example, if you want marriage, you may have been with your person 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, no ring, okay? No marriage, no nothing. Or like an extendo engagement. I'm thinking of Pam from The Office. And this is just confirmation for that. You know, your spirit guides, the celestial bodies, they're not calling out your current life. Okay, your current lifestyle, your current life, the people in your life, it doesn't feel super duper toxic. You know, there's shadow elements to everything. And, you know, this is not one of those readings where we're just going to like absolutely beat down the people in your life, what's going on in your life, and call everything toxic, because it's not. But that's what makes this so difficult. You know, it's just not going to grow into what you want it to. Oh my gosh. Do you want me to read this from the book as well, The Void of Course Moon? You know, the Void of Course Moon happens, I believe, for like 2-ish days, right? I could be wrong about that. It's not a super long period of time, but it is a time where the moon seems to like do its own thing in the sky. And astrologers suggest that it may not be the best time to make really big decisions, because the moon's just kind of, you know, doing its own thing. So yeah, that's why it's representing this message of like nothing will come of this situation. In a form of astrology known as horary, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, where an astrological chart is cast according to when the question is asked and decoded, a void of course moon means nothing will come of this matter, or this situation will bear no fruit. This may or may not be good news depending on what you're asking. For example, if you're worried about something, whatever it is, this card can be taken as a sign that there is nothing to worry about. However, if you're asking about a new project of any kind, including a new relationship, it's a sign to adjust your expectations or change things so you get a different outcome. Remember, the cards can only predict what you're currently creating, and you can change that with both your behavior and beliefs. So, well, yeah, there's something better around the corner here. And I think if I were you guys, I would take some time out, you know, a moment, several days, maybe even a couple of weeks, to just kind of think about your life. Like I said, this feels like Judgment Day energy, where you're just analyzing what's next for you in life. And you're like, am I really, really happy with where my life is at? And if nothing were to change super rapidly with my current circumstances, like, will I be okay with that? I'm getting a message from your spirit guides here, from Spirit, saying you have a pretty good idea of what's to come in the next 5 years for you, if based off of like what you think is going to happen based off your current situation. For example, like you could very accurately right now see where your career is going to go in the next 5 years, or where your current relationship, where your current friendships are going to head in the next 5 years. I feel like that's something you already have visions to. You have access to that information psychically, you know, very clear indication. Now, with that being said, I need you to think about that for a moment and ask yourself, is this really what I want in the next 5 years? Is this the level of growth and development that I want in the next 5 years? Because I feel like for almost all of you watching, it's not. You know, like things will grow in the next 5 years for sure, but it doesn't feel like 100% what you want or at the pace that you want it, you know? So I don't know. I feel like that is sort of coming through here. We have, oh my God, fork in the road as well. Wow, all of these cards are really singing in harmony, as I say. Speaking about the same thing here, I mean, it is 100% clear if you selected group number 1, there's some pretty big changes on the horizon for you, and you're at a point right now where it's like you're not 100% satisfied with life, but you're content with it, you know? And I'm gonna read this from the booklet for you. Every choice has a consequence, exactly. You've arrived at a fork in the road and are being asked to come to a decision. Will you further your dreams by choosing left or by choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled, or the one that is well worn by others who have come before you? This is your choice and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people will not make it for you. Be present and do not avoid this junction, for it is an important crossroads. Take heart, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. See, this is what I'm saying, guys. If you choose to continue on the path that you're on with your career, your relationship, your location, whatever, I actually do feel like you're gonna have a successful future, like very peaceful, very contented. You already know what this path looks like, though, from what it feels. It's like this is a path that you've seen people walk many, many, many times. It feels okay. It feels peaceful. If you want a peaceful, easy life, keep doing what you're doing. Okay. Now, on the other hand, there is another option here that may be a little bit more scary. And that option, is higher risk because it feels like you're going to be making some huge changes to your life just based on a whim, based off your intuition. And, that path may ask you to sacrifice things like your job, your location, your relationship, etc. Or at least like the life that you currently live. You're definitely going to have to sacrifice that in order to go down the second option here. And, like I said, it's higher risk, but higher reward. That's how we learn it in business as well. In business school, they teach you higher risk, higher reward, higher possibility of reward or failure. Okay. So I am seeing a decision being made in the near future. That's what's next in life, and you already feel this energy currently. I can tell you that right away. Like, you guys know, it's like you're starting to get this feeling within you, like, man, I just don't know if this job is for me, or I don't know how long I want to live in this town. It's something like that. Oh, Knight of Cups in reverse. See, this is extra complicated if it's talking about love, relationships, but you're already with someone, you're already in a long-term committed relationship. It's like, I just want to clarify, guys, that in every long-term healthy relationship, there will come a day where you're not as passionate about each other, especially 100% if you're living together. That passion is not going to last forever. That's just how it is. There's so many different relationship dynamics, but what it is replaced with is complete and utter trust, and as long as it's healthy. Okay, if it's healthy, we're talking about healthy relationships here. That passion's replaced with trust and just like a sense of family, a sense of security. It's a give and take. Everything in life has its positives and its negatives, its pros and its cons. This is not something we can escape here. And I feel your soul is longing for certain things that you have not had in a long time, because of the life that you've built for yourself. So it's really, really interesting, actually. Some of you guys may be craving like a much more passionate or creative type of life. It feels like things like the same town you've been living in for years, the same long-term relationship and the dynamics there, the job that you've had. Those are things that you're kind of like, do I really want this for the foreseeable future here? Because it feels like there may be something missing, some sense of adventure and excitement missing. The Chariot in reverse really, really clarifies all of this because, the Chariot, first off, it is a major arcana card. So it is like, it really represents that time in our life when we're young adults, typically like early 20s, where we venture outside of our hometown. We may travel the world. We may meet so many new people. And for some of you guys, for group number 1, I feel like for whatever reason, a lot of you missed out on that experience. And it could be due to good reasons or bad reasons, like you may have, for example, been in a super long relationship since you were a teenager. And great relationship, wonderful time, you're like family with each other, but you did miss out on dating and meeting new people. That's an experience you may feel like you don't have. Okay, or for another example, maybe you love your family, you love spending time with them, and you never necessarily wanted or had the opportunity to leave your hometown. Maybe a lot of you couldn't afford it for most of your life. And I see group number 1, you're at this sort of precipice in your life where the opportunity is arising. Okay, for example, if what held you back was that you didn't make enough money to like leave your current circumstances, I feel like you're about to be making a lot of money. And that question is coming back up like, okay, I have the freedom now. That's the thing. There is a certain sense of peace that comes from just simply not having opportunities sometimes. It's like, of course it would be so great to like possibly like, I don't know, move to China if I wanted to, but I mean that'll never happen. Like, I don't got the money, I don't speak Chinese, blah 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 blah. And so you find yourself peaceful and contented in your life, and then it's like the second you actually, you know, find yourself having a lot of money, taking lessons in Chinese or whatever, it's like, oh, this is suddenly like a possibility. I could actually do this. And then when that possibility is there, oh wow, yeah, these cards just came out. It then becomes like, should I be doing that? I mean, I would be uprooting my whole life. So I don't know. I definitely see you're faced with that sort of decision here. We have the Eight of Cups coming out, Strength reversed, and the Eight of Pentacles reversed. This is perfectly articulating a lot of the concerns that I felt through this reading. Because here's the thing, your soul, your spirit, your inner child is sort of just wanting this new experience in life. You know, this new direction in life. And the Eight of Cups is the perfect card to represent everything that we just talked about, because these 8 cups are still standing, okay? They are full. There is love here. There is peace here. There is security and contentment with your current life. But it's only 8 cups. You know, there are 2 more cups that are missing. And that's represented by the Five of Pentacles, feeling like there's something missing, there's something lacking. And your soul is sort of guiding you to go out, venture out into the world and find those 2 cups. See where they are. You know, get a taste of what's missing in your life. But this is a difficult decision, because it's like, am I really gonna sacrifice 8 cups just to find 2 that I haven't drank out of, that I haven't adventured, you know, and seen? It's a really, really tough decision here. One that may require a lot of finesse as well. You know, is it possible for you to keep some of these cups intact and come back to them, or maintain a connection with them? You know, for example, if you, let's just say you're an accountant, okay, you have accounting degrees, certified in accounting, etc. Really great job you have, stable income, but there's just something longing in your soul to just like be an artist and try to be an artist full time. You know, is it possible that you can quit your accounting job and try to live the lifestyle of, you know, the starving artist, and trying to make yourself successful at that? And if it doesn't work out, or if it's not all it cracked up to be, you know, would you be able to go back and revisit, you know, these cups once again, and go back to that job and that security? If you can do that, I think that's definitely like the best path forward for you. Obviously, for a lot of you, there's certain things that it's not guaranteed if you can go back to it, like a relationship, for example. You know, if you can stay in this relationship somehow, and, you know, I don't know, maybe some of you are like married, for example, and your partner really wants to stay where you're currently at, like, would it even be a possibility for you guys to remain married, and maybe you live in like another country or another city for a few months? Like, that's a possibility. I'm not saying it'll work for your specific relationship, but, you know, there's something like that. I think that would be these would be the questions I would ask my employers, or my partner, my friends, whatever it may be, whatever you're afraid of leaving behind. You know, I think just opening up and having a conversation is the best start for you. And we see that in Strength reversed. You know, you're getting so overwhelmed by these feelings and this decision that I don't even think a lot of you has even discussed it with the parties involved in this change. You know, and, you know, I just think that discussing it will give you some more clarity as to whether or not this is a possibility for you. You may even be surprised, you know, maybe your partner or your employer is all about that, really supportive of it, and you don't have to feel as bad by sort of going off and doing your own thing, you know, or, you know, maybe they're on the same page as you. I feel like for the majority of you, it doesn't feel like they're on the same page as you, though, I'm going to be honest, but you know, you may bring up to your partner, hey, I always had this dream of like living in, I don't know, Paris, but you have like a great job here in New York, and, you know, I'm just afraid because while it's great living in New York, great being with you, I'm afraid that I'm like going to give up on this dream of mine. And you never know. They may say like, oh my gosh, like actually my job has an office out in Paris and it's totally a possibility and I would love to do that. Or maybe they can say something like, well, the flights from New York to Paris aren't super expensive. Like, I think it'll be really cool to have our own little independent eras and, visit each other and maybe come up with a solution just to see, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it has to be end all be all. And in fact, most things in life aren't as black and white as we make them out to be. And I think just having a conversation is the best way for you to get started on that. Because 8 of Pentacles in reverse, it feels like a little bit too routine for you. And with the void of Chorus Moon, nothing will come of this situation. I feel like you've gotten all that you've needed to get out of a certain location or job or relationship, whatever it may be for you. And it's like you received all of the benefits of that place. It's almost like a video game, an open map, open world video game. And there's like maybe a little town with certain quests. It's like you did all the quests of that town, you traded with the merchant, you did everything. There's nothing else for you to really do there. It's time to explore the map a little bit. That's the type of energy I'm getting from you. And I feel like that is, the next steps in your life is at least having a conversation about this big change that you're wanting to take place, and maybe perhaps deciding to move in that direction. Everybody's situation is different though, so take this message however it resonates with you. Yeah, we're going to finish off with a postcard from Spirit just to give you some additional insights into the next stages in your life and what the universe, spirit, or your guides, your ancestors want to tell you at this time. Here's what it says if you want to screenshot it. It says, dearest you, did you know that when you stop fighting and accept everything exactly as it is right now, miracles start to happen? There is a freedom in this kind of radical acceptance. Let go of unrealistic expectations and see things as they really are, not how you'd like them to be. You'll be surprised at how everything seems to fall in place. When you refuse to accept things, life gets messy, you act messy, and your world stays in chaos, tension, and disarray. But don't try to force a change or manipulate circumstances. Instead, learn about what is right in front of you and face it with your eyes fully open. Then you can decide, wow, stay or go, sink or swim, move or stay still. I can't believe that message came through so on point with this whole reading. Acceptance is the key to freedom and opens the door to the real opportunities waiting to be discovered. Oh my gosh. Set yourself and others free. Loving you so much, always and forever. While I was reading that, I really started getting visions of so many of your life's examples. Like there's people here, for example, multiple people I feel, where it's like you really love someone, but they just they don't want the same level of commitment that you want, This could be a situationship and it's like you want a serious relationship, they're not wanting it. And it's like, this person may be your comfort zone, but honestly, like move on. Or this could be a long-term relationship, you always wanted marriage and they don't want that. And it reminds me of the saying, don't let your boyfriend get in the way of meeting your husband or your girlfriend get in the way of meeting your wife. I guess you could put it the other way around here. And I don't know. And I understand that for a lot of you, this reading isn't even about romance and love, but, it could be applied to anything in your life. And there's some huge decisions that need to be made in the next few days and weeks of your life on whether or not you want to stay in your current circumstances, because quite frankly, it feels like, again, nothing more substantial is going to come from something. It's like it would have already happened. You would have seen the signs of growth by now, and it's like, do you stay in this comfort zone where things are okay, things are getting by, things are peaceful, or do you be brave and go out and decide, to open up more? This decision, like I said, there's no wrong choice here. I'm not guiding you to do anything. I just feel like this is the next steps in your life, making these choices and really analyzing where your life is going to head in like the next 5 years. So I'm sending you all so much love. This is a tough choice. Be brave, be honest, be open, communicate clearly, talk about this with friends, with partners, with therapists, everything. Journal about it. And you got this, guys, okay? Definitely like this video. Comment your thoughts and feelings down below. I would love to hear your stories, so comment them as well if you feel comfortable, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. If you want a personal reading with me, one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 2, and welcome. Let's see what's in store for you in your next steps in life. First card out, we have the upper world. Beautiful. I am seeing a lot of deep connection to your spirituality. I feel like your psychic abilities are waking up. This is an invitation from the upper world to connect with your destiny a bit more. And I'm going to read this card from the book for you. Those of you who don't understand the upper world, let me read that for you. The upper world is essentially the realm where a lot of our spirit guides and angels and things like that, luminous beings, exist. Angels, divine helpers, the ancient ones, and all varieties of luminous beings populate the upper world. It is the place where you go to retrieve your destiny and find out who you will become, discover your great potentials and undreamt of possibilities. It is also the place where the spirits of the dead arrive when they complete their journey to the light. And having this card come out upright is an invitation from spirit when it comes to your next steps in life. The upper world is calling you to step into your fully realized self. Okay, I just want to pause and say, guys, the energy I feel is tremendous. A lot of you are having really amazing spiritual awakenings right now. And it feels like your energy itself, your aura itself is elevating drastically. Okay, so I don't know what you've been doing differently. Some of you may have been doing a lot of meditation or yoga, journaling, or even just setting the intention to have some sort of awakening. You know, I don't know what you're doing. You may not even be doing anything differently. It just feels like your energy is really raising. And with that comes a lot of change in life as well, because you outgrow certain things that no longer match your vibration, but you also bring in more highly vibrational people and situations to your life. So you're being called to step into your fully realized self, clear distractions so that you can move into a higher destiny. Do not fall to the temptation to craft a slightly more improved version of yourself. I am seeing for a lot of you what you're doing right now. You may feel called to let go of things, distractions. Okay, so some of you may have felt drawn to set more boundaries when it comes to technology, social media, your phone, etc. I'm also seeing some of you may have been using relationships as a distraction from the things that don't fulfill you and make you unhappy. You know, there may have been, or not even just relationships, any sort of addiction, okay, may have been used as a distraction from solving the issues that really bother you, you know? And this could be anything. Like, be really open-minded when I use the word addiction. Some of you may really love scrolling through social media and you find yourself doing it for hours on end. Okay, same thing with video games, same thing with reading, okay, same thing with so many things in life, drinking, drugs. You know, I know when we think of addictions, we immediately go to like alcoholics and drug addicts, but I feel like there's way more addicts in the world. Anything that's used as a coping skill to sort of escape from your reality, I feel like that's being let go of at this time and in the near future. You're continuing to improve sort of letting go of that, and also just elevating your life in general, so that way you don't have a life that you need to escape from, you know? Some of you may even be, I'm seeing here a message of like leaving the 9-to-5 life. You don't want a life that you have to go on vacation from or retire from, you know? It's like you want, those things are nice for sure, but it's like you want to cultivate a life that you love living so much that like it doesn't feel like you're taking a vacation, you know? And I wish more people in the world can experience this. I have been so lucky to experience this for myself. It definitely came with some struggles, but you know, I have a job, I do something here that I actually prefer doing as opposed to vacationing. Like when I go on vacations, after a few days, I'm just like, man, I just want to go home and film and talk to people on YouTube and do readings for people. And I feel that you are getting yourself into life circumstances kind of like that, where you'll have that attitude of like, man, I just want to go back and do that thing that I love about my life, you know? So really, really interesting. What you perceive as a problem or an obstacle is in fact the irritation that you need to take the great leap. Remember, you cannot cross the Grand Canyon in 2 small jumps. So what are the problems, the challenges, and the irritations in your life right now? And I just saw 444 on the camera timer. That's the number of stability. For a lot of you, the issue that you're having is a lack of stability in some department. Maybe not stable love, stable money, something like that. And that frustration is actually pushing you closer to your destiny. This is being confirmed by your spirit guides, okay? So if there's any irritations coming through, pay attention to that. I'll give you a personal example of what I'm trying to say. When I was trying to grow my business and audience and things like that, and I still am doing that, I will literally get irritations from the universe at times. Like, there was this house around the block from me, and it literally was my dream home. It looked so witchy. It was very Victorian, but highly unique, It looks like no other house I've ever seen, and it was pink and had huge yards all around it, but it's close enough to the city where you have that city life as well. So it literally my dream home, exactly everything that I want in a home. And I saw on a walk that its house number was 333. And I'm like, this is a sign. And I just saw 444 on the camera or on the clock. So there you go, 444 coming out twice now. Talking about house 333. Angels are all around you, especially with the upper world. Oh my gosh, there's so many angels in this reading surrounding you at this time, trying to help you. Anyways, it was my perfect dream house, and I was doing everything to try to manifest it. Mind you, I had no money at the time. And this house is easily $500,000. And so I was like, it definitely is mine. And the people who own this house have been owning it for probably their whole life. It probably wasn't on the market for 80 years, And then a year later, after I tried to manifest me owning this house, the house went up for sale. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But I was not nearly at the level or the place to buy it. And I was just so frustrated with myself. I was really devastated. I actually cried because I'm like, the universe gave me the opportunity, but this past year, after I set that goal, that manifestation, I was just not working hard enough, I feel. I didn't have enough money. And that irritation, that frustration of my dream house going up for sale and me not being prepared for it was like fuel to the fire, the desire that I had to grow and expand. And I remember that month, I was so ungodly productive because that irritated the crap out of me. I was so frustrated. I'm like, I somehow managed to manifest this house being on the market. But the past year, I was slacking. I was distracted by boys. Never a good idea. And, if I didn't let myself get distracted, and that's what the upper world card is talking about, don't let distractions get in the way. Don't use distractions to, distract you from the problems and the irritations in your life, because those irritations are helping you grow. I was using boys as a distraction from the uncomfortability and my unhappiness with the amount of money that I had. I didn't feel prosperous. I didn't have that much money. And instead of sitting with that feeling, I distracted myself from it. But that's the thing. I needed to feel that pain, that annoyance, oh my God, that complete and utter sense of not having enough. Because it was so irritating that it actually fueled me to work really hard towards my dreams. But instead, I just distracted myself from that feeling, and I manifested something that I wasn't prepared for because I was distracting myself. So I don't know why I'm sharing this story with you. I feel like this may strike a chord somewhere within you, somewhere in your life, where it's the universe is bringing you everything that you want when you want it very quickly. And you may be seeing this, but you're never prepared for it. And there's a message here where in the near future, your next steps in life is really you are eradicating distractions that prevent you from growing and moving forward in this life, whatever those distractions may be for you. Okay, we have the 7th chakra upright with Archangel Uriel. Like I said, guys, lots of angels in your energy right now, definitely elevating you. A lot of you who select group number 2 seem spiritually gifted as well, I have to say. You probably have some sort of deep connection to these other realms, to the angels, to your ancestors. A lot of you may be mediums or light workers yourself. The 7th chakra deals with having spiritual downloads, actually, and connecting to the upper world. So it's so funny that it's coming out, because these two cards are totally related. You have to have an open crown chakra in order to receive downloads and messages from the upper world. You know, your root chakra, the lower chakras, connect you to Mother Earth and earthly wisdom, your physical life, which is very important. And then the upper chakras connect you to the heavens, the upper world, these higher spirits and ascended masters and ancestors, all that stuff. So again, equally as important. And I see you really tapping into that, tuning into that right now. There's a lot coming through when it comes to your destiny, when it comes to the success that you're cultivating for your future. I feel like if you select group number 2, you have a really big destiny, really powerful soul who is going to do a lot on this planet and be extremely successful and prosperous. And you may not be there quite yet, but I see rapid transformation taking place for you already, where you feel like your energy is ascending and more negative, lower vibrational people, energies, things like that are falling out of your life. And if they can only fall out of your life with your permission, say it's like your personal habit or things like that, I feel like it's starting to irritate you more and more and more if you're keeping that in your life. For example, let's say you always enjoyed drinking alcohol, and you know, maybe at times you used alcohol as a distraction. You may or may not have like full-fledged addiction to it, but you know, the more you are elevating your energy, you're getting way more sensitive to things that are out of alignment with you as you begin to raise your vibration. And your vibration may be moving way past the vibration of alcohol, okay? And because of that, it may start to really irritate you when you drink alcohol. You know, you may have a stomach issue, you may get really, really sleepy, you know, things like that. That's a sign it's no longer in vibration with you. I could do a whole video on this concept, okay? Because I remember, I'm just gonna tell a lot of stories, guys. When I was a teenager, I used to smoke a lot of weed. And it was great at the time. It actually was really helpful for me. And I felt really spiritually connected when I smoked weed. But here's the thing. As I did a lot of healing and like psychological work, I got to a point where like every time I would smoke, it would actually bring me down psychologically. Like I would get more anxious, like depressed almost, paranoid. It was so weird. It's just like in my late teens, I reached a point where it's almost like my personal vibration went beyond the vibration of weed. But in the past, when my personal vibration was really low and I was suffering from things like depression and issues in my life, smoking actually was really beneficial for me. So when you surpass these things energetically, vibrationally, they no longer become beneficial and they can kind of become a distraction, and just there may be physical symptoms that you may be experiencing when you keep engaging in these things that you may have enjoyed once, but now it's just at a lower vibration than you. So for a lot of you, I feel like the message here, the next steps in life, you're sort of going to be swimming in a bigger pond, you know, connecting with even more elevated and inspirational people and environments and new habits that are much more aligned with how your personal vibration and energy is growing. So I hope that makes sense. We have hostilities. Muy interesante. We have the door to spirit. Oh my gosh, guys. Spiritual awakening. Oh wow, so many cards that speak of these upper realms. Oh my god, actually I want to read the door to spirit card for you so you understand like just how funny this is. But we're not gonna just completely disregard this hostilities card. We'll get to that, but let's read the door to spirit and see what this means for you. The door opens onto the expansive energetic realm where all new beings originate. The orbs of light are guiding you through the clouds of the earthly world, leading you to a deeper understanding of your eternal identity, the source of all true value, and power. You guys are really waking up to who you are and why you came into this world. This door opens onto truly unlimited potential, for the changes that happen here reach deep into the core of your being. As such, this card often heralds your increasing powers in the spiritual arts and a deepening connection with the spirit world. Don't be surprised if you find yourself becoming more intuitive, more aware of spirit's presence, or more powerful in your own healing practices. Now is the time to open up to the unexpected guidance and inspiration of spirit, and to the magic and power of your true identity. A lot of you may be, like I said, the next chapters in your life, you may be taking on way more spiritual practices, or like devoting yourself to it way more. Some of you may even be opening your own spiritual businesses, or it's just like your spiritual work that you're currently doing gets a lot more powerful, impactful, and successful, essentially. That's what I'm seeing here. You're more sensitive. And I don't know how to put it. It just feels like you're elevating to a much like holier type of vibration, and not in a way where it's like you think you're better than everyone else, by the way, like not a holier than thou energy, like a real genuine deep spiritual connection and sensitivity. Some of you guys may be actually like just healing others way more profoundly than you even realize, and you embody this energy. You may notice people start to treat you differently, like respect you more, because you're just carrying this energy of someone who's really deeply connected to all that is. However, apparently that's going to trigger some hostilities in other people, which is not surprising to me at all in the slightest. This card shows a man raising up his sword in readiness to do battle. When it comes up right, it reveals a situation where hostilities towards you are about to be or already have been engaged. The aggressive energy may be verbal or emotional, with someone in your environment being excessively critical, demanding, or hurtful. In a work or social situation, there may be backstabbing or out and out slander going on. I want to pause and say, I relate to this reading so heavily, guys. So I don't know what the heck happened. You know, after Pluto went into Aquarius on January 20th, 2024, from that time till like the end of February, I felt a massive awakening in myself, like truly massive awakening. My whole entire energy felt like it shifted. And weirdly enough, well, this brought a lot of great things into my life, a lot of business success, and I just felt like my readings were so on point during that time, and I just really felt connected. However, one of my friends who was like really close to me, really also spiritually connected, a very powerful psychic as well, although they don't do it professionally, they just started lashing out on me. This is Luna, by the way, and just they called me and were berating me for an hour straight. It was so out of the blue, and it was rooted in a lot of deep insecurity. And you know, I can unpack the psychological reasons as to why they did that, but it was totally out of the blue, uncalled for energy. And I really do feel like it was triggered because I had that sort of elevation in my energy, and I was more connected than ever. I feel like they psychically picked up on that. And this person has some narcissistic tendencies where they derive a lot of their self-worth and validation externally. And because they sensed me sort of being happy and releasing new products and, you know, having great readings and just meeting new people generally, I feel like that triggered their sense of self-worth, and they had to attack me and put me down in order for them to feel better about themselves. So in other words, sometimes when you become more successful and your energy elevates, it really triggers insecure people. And I feel like that's where these hostilities may be coming from. Okay, so don't be surprised if that happens. I want you to know that, like, as you elevate your energy, like I said, you're gonna outgrow certain other energies, certain vibrations. So some people who you may have considered really great, inspirational people, great friends, you may notice like, oh, you're like actually kind of immature, or, you know, at a vibration that's much lower than you. Whereas in the past, you may have really looked up to this person. Does that make sense? So it's not necessarily that you weren't seeing them accurately in the past, but it's just so you're looking at them from a different perspective, because back then you were looking at them from like down here, and then now and in the near future, you're looking at them from like up here, a completely different angle. As we raise and elevate our vibration, we see things a lot more completely. We see things from a higher perspective, past, present, and future equally. And you know, it's just things are going to change for you. People will exit your life. New people will enter your life. I do see that very strongly. This is different from the deceit card because the hostile energies are more apparent, more overt. In fact, you may have been living with them for some time, but whether this is a new or old energy, now is the time to regain control. Allowing dishonoring treatment from others is an open invitation to the universe to send you more. It may feel risky, but you need to have the courage to stand up for yourself now and always. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like there's a lesson in standing up for yourself and not accepting that talk, that behavior from anyone. You know, when my friend called me and berated me for like an hour, for like the first like 20 to 30 minutes of that conversation, I was genuinely hearing them out and apologizing. But when they kept going off on like just a list of all the reasons why I suck, you know, it got to the point where I think they said something that was totally untrue, something that I never, ever, ever thought in my life. Like they said that I view myself on a pedestal, and I'm like, my entire like spiritual foundation is built off of the concept of I am completely equal to everyone and everything in existence, like including like a blade of grass or a spoon or, you know, a deity. I don't view myself as higher or lower than any of them because we're all made out of the same stuff. We're all the universe. We are all the same thing. That sort of I am energy. You know, there's no reason to view things in a hierarchy. That is something I feel so 110% strongly about. And I never a day in my life ever felt like I was above anyone. If anything, the opposite was true. I may have in the past, you know, viewed myself as less than certain people. So when they said that, something triggered within me. I'm like, you know what? I just got really defensive at that point. I'm like, you have zero right to tell me who I am and I essentially took back control. And I'm like, I'm not going to tolerate this hostility anymore. So goodbye. Don't talk to me ever again. And you know what? Like sometimes that's the best thing that you can do in situations like that, because when you accept ill behavior from people, you're just first off telling them that that's okay and reinforcing it, enabling that behavior. But also that's what you're communicating to the universe. Like, I accept this energy, this behavior, this hostility. So feel free to send me more of it, you know? We have the new moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. Guys, Virgo is an extremely healing energy as well. I feel a lot of people who select the group number 2, you are either beginning or expanding a spiritual or healing based business or career. I feel it so strongly. Some sort of service based thing. It doesn't even have to be spiritual in nature. I just got the example. Someone watching maybe starting their own business, cleaning houses, like literally cleaning. And, you know, there is an inherent spirituality in literally everything in life, but doing that is being of service to the world and supporting each other, helping each other out. So anything service-based, I feel like you may be expanding or doing more of. Taking way better care of yourself and others, I am seeing that very strongly as well. Nurturing your relationships, the things that are going good for you, the good habits that you have, all of these things are coming forward very strongly in the future. And I feel like a lot of you are at a point where it's like, you know what you offer. Okay, you know that you get into this Virgo energy when it comes to your work, when it comes to relationships. You have a very high integrity when it comes to what you give. You know, you give right, you give good, you give consistently. So when that energy is not matched, I feel like you're starting to wake up to that and defend yourself from that. Because when that energy is not matched, it actually does take away from you giving to the people and the situations that do deserve it, because they reciprocate it. They reciprocate that energy they give back to you. So very beautiful. We have yin energy coming out as well for what is going down in the near future. I love this because, you know, yin, the divine feminine, it's all about receiving, setting back into, like, I'm seeing deep, profound spirituality, guys. You don't even know. You don't even know. Like, this is like super like falling back into your existence, pondering the universe, like everything. I'm gonna read this from the booklet. There is a time of calculated receptivity as you gracefully await what is coming to you, ready to accept it when it appears. Yin does not involve frozen dreams or even resting, but rather consciously allowing things to flow to you, poised to receive the bounty that will be made available to you. It implies sensitivity as you alertedly study the actions of others and contemplate how they will affect you and yours. Remember, you must make space for miracles to appear. Be the shaped, not the shaper, and you'll see how quickly your dreams manifest. I resonate with this reading so much, group number 2. This reading feels like me last month, like so heavily, you know. Be the one who is shaped. This is a message for you guys to stop trying to force people and things to be who you need them to be. You know, stop trying to force outcomes to happen. You know, even the way I was approaching my goals in the past, like I would say, like I would put in my calendar, I want to manifest this amount of subscribers this month. I want to manifest this amount of sales this month. Or, you know, it was just very structured. I was outlining exactly how I wanted my manifestations to happen. And the second I switched it to, like, I started writing in my calendar, this is a month where I just try my best to put my work out there to as many people as possible. Interestingly enough, they became my most successful months because I wasn't saying, like, I need to manifest this amount, I need to get this result. It was more so like, I'm just going to try to my best. And I just saw 2525 on the camera timer. Another angel number. The number 2 represents relationships, and the number 5 represents change. Okay, we have the number 2 here as well. And guys, I just feel like your whole energy is changing, and therefore your relationship with yourself and the world around you is changing. Like your entire vibration is changing, and you're just manifesting a life that is much more aligned with you, your goals, your dreams, your wants. You're putting a lot less pressure on your life and on others. You're no longer waiting or forcing or changing. It's just like you're accepting things as they are in the present moment, radically for what they are. And because of that, you are sort of changing your approach and what you focus on. Just like that little energetic adjustment helps you manifest so much more in your life and opens the door to spirit so greatly for you. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Let's see what's coming. Let's see what's coming. I'm seeing your destiny being retrieved. I'm seeing beautiful changes taking place. We have the 9 of Wands coming out for you. See, this is a card of fear. You know, you don't want to go back to the ways that you were living in the past. You don't want to move backwards in life. So I see you, you know, kind of wondering, wow, the devil. Now, someone commented that sometimes when I'm shuffling, a card comes out like this. Now, this is horizontal, but it is slightly in reverse, as you could see, based off of the angle, at least the angle I'm looking at it. So I would read this as the devil in reverse, but someone commented saying that that wasn't right. That wasn't the right way to shuffle cards. In fact, right before this video, I was like, man, I should just shuffle off camera, because that was annoying to me. But we're going to read it as the devil reverse, and if you have any qualms about that, take it up with someone else, okay? Anyways, these are significant next to each other because, you know, the devil in reverse is actually a really good card that shows you breaking out of bad habits, bad cycles, negative people, hostilities. I'm seeing a big chunk of what's in store for you in the near future is breaking away from relationships that don't serve you. You know, toxic cycles that you kept repeating over and over and over again out of fear. You know, that's what you're breaking out of. And now it feels like your whole energy is changing and you're shifting into a place in life where it's just like you're focusing on what you can do, not what you can't do. And look, I was shuffling, these 2 flipped over, and 2 of Cups reverse, the High Priestess in reverse. This confirms literally what we were just saying of a relationship ending with the 2 of Cups in reverse, because it's not equal. You know, they don't view you as equal. We have the High Priestess in reverse. I feel like your intuition was ignoring this for the longest time, trying to see the light in everyone, which I think is the shadow side of light workers. Is, you know, a lot of us constantly see the best in people and situations, you know, because we're given the ability to see the highest outcomes. You know, it's like, oh, if this person just like got therapy or did this and that, like they would be so perfect and pure, and you can see all of the reasons, the traumas, why they act the way that they act. However, that's kind of a shadow element of being a light worker, because then we start making excuses for those people and enabling that behavior, accepting that behavior. I feel like that's what's changing for you. You know, instead of dulling your own light down by like having to almost like love people less or give less, be less, you're realizing like, no, the amount I give is great. The depth in which I love is great. You know, I should not have people in my life where I feel like I have to dull myself down in order to match their vibration. Yeah, I know exactly what you're going through. Like I guys, I resonate so heavily with you. I've been in relationships before. Sorry if I keep talking about myself, by the way. I just feel like I can relate so heavily, and a lot of you like the stories anyways. But I've been in relationships before where it's like I felt like I was giving so much and they just weren't reciprocating that energy. And instead of leaving that relationship, I convinced myself like, oh, well, I should just try to love less or give less, so that because they're not doing anything wrong, you know. And it then became my problem to be less, when in reality, like, it is actually wonderful that I was willing to give so much, and I should have been giving that same amount, but to the people and the habits and the projects that were giving back equally to me. I shouldn't have been trying to dull myself down to meet someone where they were at vibrationally, which was sort of below what I was offering. You know, instead I should have just readjusted where I was giving that energy. And I'm feeling a similar message for you guys coming through, where it's like your intuition was telling you that something was off with someone or something. You didn't want to believe it because you wanted to see the light in it, and which is great, but you know, you were accepting a lot less than you deserved. It may have been a codependent relationship, or just lifestyle you were living. I'm seeing the end of codependency for you guys. And because this shift is taking place and you're focusing on what is giving back to you, that actually puts you into the flow of abundance and into this place of receptivity. And this is going to manifest so many of your dreams and prosperity and love to you. It's insane. We also have the King of Pentacles coming forward. I love it. Exactly. A lot of you will be making more money. I do see that strongly. And on top of that, I feel like in your future, I am seeing relationships, especially like a loving romantic relationship with a man or masculine energy. They don't have to be a man. They could be older than you, and they could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And the King of Pentacles is someone who prides themselves on their generosity and how much they give to others. You know, they love the finer things in life, like home and food and sleep. You know, they may not be the biggest adventurer, but they really enjoy those finer things in life, those finer details, and especially the physical aspects of life. You know, we got to give credit to Pentacles people, earthly people, because they really are very grounded and stable. And sometimes it's great to feel those earthly energies, such as food and sensuality and home and all that good stuff. And they really do offer that consistently. They're loyal. I feel like those are the people you're going to be attracting, and the opportunities you're going to be attracting in the near future with this energetic shift that is taking place. So you are essentially going through all of these spiritual awakenings, raising your vibration. And, you know, I would keep doing this. I would really facilitate this change to continue happening. If I were you, I would do things like journaling a lot more, meditating, and just try to push this energy as far as you can. Ascend as far as you can if you want to. And yeah, I feel like you're going to attract amazing, mature, inspirational people, and definitely a lot more prosperity for you with this change that is taking place, which is beautiful. I love it. Okay. And we also have the King of Wands coming out in reverse for you right next to that. Yeah, guys, this feels like the contrast of like what you're embodying versus what you're leaving behind, because I feel for a lot of you, you may have really connected with people who were very like passionate but inconsistent, you know. King of Wands reverse is kind of like more egotistical personalities, especially again masculine, older than you. Could be like fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And I don't know, I'm just seeing in the near future really, really big shifts and changes with the people you connect with, but also with your sense of prosperity in life. I am seeing for every single person who selected group number 2 a massive spiritual wake-up call. Psychic abilities are ascending. Your connection is ascending. Some of you may even be starting some sort of spiritual-based service or a business. But like with this shift, so much is changing around you, including the people around you, you know, and this, again, this shift that's taking place is going to trigger hostilities in someone. And I feel like that's why the King of Wands is coming out in reverse, because this is someone who, you know, poses themselves to be a king, this high up person who's seen the world and is so charismatic and fiery and fun. But really, they're insecure at the root of it, and they need to feel more important than other people. You know, those are the people you're letting go of, and you're starting to focus more on the people who are here for you consistently. They may not be as exciting and passionate because they're healthier, you know? They're more stable, they're more consistent. So we're going to finish off with a postcard from Spirit, and this is from your spirit guides, ancestors, all that. Here it is if you want to screenshot it. And it says, "Dear you, human beings spend a huge percentage of life asleep, not just in bed, but the kind where you forget that you are a spiritual, immortal being taking on a temporary human form. It's not your fault. Everyone suffers from spiritual amnesia once in a while. As you develop an identity and ego, you begin to see through the eyes of a small self and have less connection to your soul self. You may not recognize this is going on, but you sure can feel it." We're here to remind you to look through your soul's eyes and see that magic is everywhere. Infinite potential lies in Spirit, who is teaming with you to fulfill the contract you made to contribute to the evolution of the whole world. So that's why you're here, guys. Yeah, you guys are earth angels, like some sort of very, very high, powerful spiritual being with deep, deep abilities. And you're waking up to this mission on life, on this planet. Oh my gosh. Wake up and remember that all the help you need is orchestrated in the invisible realms. Your mind, in alignment with divine intelligence, is unstoppable. The world is yours to co-create. You are so loved, and we are all behind you. I love that message, guys. What is next for you in life? What your next steps are? First off, massive spiritual wake-up call. You are getting ideas at this time on how to help humanity evolve, to ascend back into harmony and peace with nature and each other. And it's just so beautiful. And you're aligning with people who are also like that. You may notice more people with a mission on life connecting with you. Not just a false mission, like an ego mission, but like real, genuine missions, okay? So thank you guys for joining me. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. If you want personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 1, and welcome. Let's see what your next steps are going to be in life. First card out for you is the Seer. Very similar to group number 2 in the sense that I feel like you're having a lot of deep revelations about your life at this time, and I don't know why I'm getting the feeling of like just seeing your life in a different perspective, in a different way, connecting to spirit guides more, connecting to spirit source more, whatever. It feels like you're just waking up almost, having a lot of revelations about your life. And having the Seer come out in your reading upright is an invitation from your spirit guides, an invitation to make some changes to your life and embrace different energies in the coming future. So here's what it says from the book. The Seer invites you to trust your intuition and follow it as it leads you forward. You may be feeling lost when it appears that your hunch is taking you in circles or even through a maze, but the hidden realms don't follow the rules of a two-dimensional map. Trust your gut and allow your perception of your circumstances to widen, to include the nuances and subtle cues that you normally miss if you take things at face value. The Seer has gifted you with his magic. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, and your vision is clear. So I actually feel like a lot of you are really headed in a really good direction in life already. It feels like you are doing what you know you should be doing. You're taking the steps that you should be taking in order to just maintain a really good energy in life and also grow as a person as well. So this is a really good sign. You also have, wow, The temple path in reverse. This is funny because the seer was talking about how like the universe doesn't need a two-dimensional map to move you forward in life, and the temple path talks all about the fact that in life, you know, our journey is definitely not a straightforward path. So at times you may be feeling like you're moving backwards in life when in reality you're moving forwards. For example, if you are having to restart something all over again, like in group number 1, they had this message coming through that they're either going to start like a brand new job or move into a new location. And in that journey, they may have to start all over again, you know, meet new friends, get a starting salary again after having a more advanced salary. And it may seem like they're moving backwards in life, but in reality, they're moving forwards. And so I'm seeing a very similar energy come through for you. Actually, if any of you guys felt drawn to group number 1 and 2 as well, you might want to watch it because I'm sort of getting energies from both of those groups coming through in your reading as well. So very interesting stuff there. But this temple path card in reverse, I am seeing you may have been doubting the growth and the progress you've been making in life, but in reality, you're making extraordinary progress in life. Receiving this card reversed is a sign that you may have fallen off of your path. You could be too focused on worldly possessions and material gain, or you may simply be maintaining old unhealthy habits of fear, limitation, worry, or doubt. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's not necessarily that you've fallen off your path, it's that you think you've fallen off your path. You know what I mean? Whatever is distracting you, receiving this card reversed is a firm message that it's time to make your spiritual life and evolution a much higher priority. Not doing so represents an important loss of power. So clear your mind, meditate, and open up to the presence of spirit, which again is so crazy because a similar message came through for group number 2. Their reading was all about connecting with their higher chakras and their destiny, their spirit guides, the upper worlds, and also making a huge change in life. So this is a really, really interesting reading because it almost feels like those of you who selected group number 3, you've already been through the 2 different steps that group number 1 and 2 have went through. And I didn't intend for these readings to connect with one another, but it is just so happened to like be doing that. So I feel like if you go back and watch groups 1 and 2, you may have felt like that was your life in the recent past. And now we're talking about like, okay, this is almost giving advice for the big changes and things that will be going on in the near future, which is really interesting because when I was filming group number 1, I kept picking up on a huge change and I'm like, man, I just wish that I would get some sort of clear advice for them. But the advice was really like, just do whatever you want. And now I feel like in your reading, we're actually going to be getting some advice on those big changes that are taking place for you. Yeah, whatever's distracting you, receiving this card is a firm message to make your spiritual life and evolution a much higher priority. Not doing so is an important loss of power, so open up. Whatever else you may have going on, consider this an important part of your personal and tactical plans. The support and inspiration of all eternity and countless loving spirits are available to you. Not turning to them is like cursing the dark when you refuse to turn on the lights. And the affirmation is, I open my heart to my spiritual truth and a deeper connection with spirit. Guidance and inspiration come freely and easily to me. So start asking your spirit guides, ancestors, past loved ones, etc. for guidance moving forward. You know, set the intention that you are receiving clarity and you know exactly what you need to do moving forward. In fact, call upon the spirits of past seers. This is a really specific message. I don't get this message that often, but I am seeing I'm connecting with spirits of past. Okay, I just had a really specific spirit come through for someone. One of you might have an ancestor who was very psychically connected. They could have been a shaman, a seer, a high priestess, something like that. And I feel like they may have had an issue with their throat, or like the throat area, the thyroid, throat chakra, which like has ended up that caused their transition into spirit, essentially. And they're coming through very strongly if this resonates with you. But a lot of you select group number 3, you have bloodlines, ancestors who are these very connected beings. Like in your most indigenous roots to whichever continent your family grew up on, these were the people who were like spiritual leaders and healers. And you're being asked to call upon them, call upon the seer spirits in your bloodline to help you see your best future path very clearly. Set that intention. Okay, simply set the intention, ask out loud, and you will receive. Actually, pause to do it now. Pause to do it now. That'll help us with this reading. And you'll receive a lot of clear guidance into the future. All right, we have, wow, Goddess of the Moon in reverse. Guys, a lot of you are connected to the moon spirit, beautiful spirit guide. She connects with so many people who have these abilities, these almost like clairvoyant abilities, guys. And we have the second chakra, sacral chakra, in reverse with Archangel Ariel. Oh my gosh. You know, I wasn't going to read all of these cards, but you know what? You guys are the last group. Why not? Let's get into it. I want to read to you about this Goddess of the Moon in reverse. This card reversed reveals blocked intuition, an inner disconnect, or a sense of living in the dark. You have a deep desire to know your purpose and truth, but they can feel very distant. This is a message of dissatisfaction where your inner life is concerned. It's possible that extreme worry and discontent are the obstacles to the inner peace and wisdom you seek. See, this is what I'm feeling, group number 3, just intuitively. Like, you're already on a good path for yourself. You're already on a good road. But it's the anxiety, it's the worry, it's the doubt, like, oh, I'm moving backwards in life, I don't know about this, that's getting in the way of your inner peace. And you may be wanting to manifest more for yourself or certain outcomes here. And I feel like you're actually blocking your own state of inner peace from happening because you're sort of pinning that sense of inner peace and happiness to a certain outcome that's not currently in your life. And in reality, I don't care what your issue is. I don't care if you're in poverty. I don't care if you have health issues. I don't care if you are alone. Like, this inner peace and happiness is accessible to you at any point in your life. And you know what's funny? I have been using this oracle deck for so long. This is my favorite oracle deck. And I have never in my life seen this little cat head here. Do you see it? It's a big cat. It looks like a lion almost. A lioness or something. So I am seeing a lot of you may have a big cat spirit guide that works with you. I've noticed within myself, I have a spirit guide named Minertha. She is a jaguar, and she follows me around all the time. Whenever I am doing a shamanic journey, soul traveling, she is there and she protects me. And I also have a tiger spirit that helps me enforce boundaries with people and protects my mental well-being. So I have these big cats sort of follow me around spiritually, and they protect me. Big cats and their spirits help protect the earth from like demon aliens and things like that, like these threats, these negative energies. Anyone who owns a cat, you already know this. I don't have to tell you this. You believe me fully. Okay, you know that cats protect your home from ghosts, negative energies, things like that. They're totally aware of that. Anyways, if you select group number 3, you may connect with cats like that or have these big cat spirit guides. I feel like a lot of you are. That's the thing. It's like in your blood. You are these seers, these shamans, these high priestesses. It's just, there's more of that to embrace in your life. You may have already embraced some of it, but there's a lot more to embrace with Goddess of the Moon in reverse. And I think right now, the next phase of your life, it feels like your spirit guides, your teachers who are spirits trying to awaken this in you are asking you to tune in with that state of inner peace. Like, that seems to be like the next mission for you in life right now, is actually to learn how to tap into your own inner state of peace and unconditional love, no matter what your external circumstances are. I'm seeing things like regulating your nervous system come up. I am seeing things like just trusting your intuition, even if it doesn't logically make sense, you know? And I can tell you a story about this. You know, sometimes your intuition, you just have to trust it, okay? A few months ago, I had a spirit guide tell me that I need to stop offering written psychic readings. And that was my bread and butter for my business for many years, for like 5 years, the first 5-6 years of my business. I was offering written readings for people, and randomly my spirit guide said, you got to stop offering this, because it was fun, but it was very exhausting. You know, I was doing several written readings a day, and I would get so carried away with them and do like 15 pages long readings. They were only supposed to be like 5 or 6 pages. I would just go way too hard, and I would literally have like neck aches, shoulder aches, and also like I didn't want to charge too much for them. but yeah, one day a spirit guide was like, just stop offering them, just offer video readings. And that was really scary for me because, you know, I was like, oh my God, like this is 90% of my income though. I can't just stop offering it. But I trusted my spirit guides and everything shifted for me and it was beautiful. It ended up working out so much better. I was making more money, more sales, and I wasn't having that exhaustion from doing the written reading. So that's why it's so important to follow your intuition, even if it doesn't quite logically make sense. Similar to group number 1, your intuition may be guiding you to make some very big life changes at this time. And again, you just have to trust your intuition and recognize that that's not moving backwards. Okay, if your intuition is telling you to do something, it's taking you forwards, not backwards. So very important to keep in mind there. Let's see. It's possible that extreme worry and discontent are the obstacles to your inner peace and wisdom that you seek. If so, you need to let that go and renew your faith in yourself and your eternal spirit. Get out of your own way and release the fear that's blocking the truth of your blessed eternal nature. Your soul, your higher self, knows you best, so allowing stillness into your life. Listen to the stirring of your own intuitive voice and trust what you receive. Yeah. And see, that pairs perfectly with the sacral chakra coming out in reverse here, because the sacral chakra is our instincts. You know, you just feel this impulse to do something that'll feel really good or feels right. And you have two intuitions. Intuitions. This is such a dumb way to put it. There's two main areas where you receive psychic downloads, I feel. Your third eye and your sacral chakra. Okay, your sacral chakra is like your gut instinct. So for example, when you're going on a walk somewhere and you just have this gut instinct, like, do this, like this area is off, the energy's off, turn around. Like those types of like deep physical reactions, like a visceral reaction, is the intuition linked to your gut. And literally, you know, I feel like this should be studied a lot more. I feel like the bacteria literally in your intestines, it's so important and connected to everything else in our life. It's almost like similar to the brain, in my opinion. Now, I'm not a scientist. I feel like scientists should research this more. And then there's obviously your third eye chakra, where you get these sort of just knowings that come through, these feelings. You know, you can feel intuition really anywhere in your body. And I feel like you may have been doubting your gut feelings and the intuitive nudges there, but you need to know, like, you have this seer spirit within you. You are an extremely strong psychic, seer, high priestess, shaman, whatever it may be, and it runs in your blood. And that intuition is trying to tell you something, and you just need to trust it, it feels like. And I feel that in the next future months, you know, what is this reading? What's happening next for you? It's going to be so important for you to follow that intuition and connect with this part of you, because let me tell you, when you have these spiritual gifts and you don't use them, and I'm not trying to scare any of you, it's just in my experience and from talking to so many people throughout the years, I find that people who have these gifts very strongly and who are meant to use them, when they don't use them, it's almost like the universe puts them at the vibration of this bridge between life and death anyways. And when the universe is forced to sort of put them back at that vibration, it can sometimes be scary. Okay, for example, a lot of people who are supposed to be on the shamanic path in life, who are supposed to be these healers, these gurus, these people who really help teach and heal and connect and evolve humanity, when they're not doing that, when they're not living a life aligned with that, like, don't be surprised if you get hit by random things like these chronic illnesses and traumas and near-death experiences and just crazy, crazy circumstances that bring you back to being in the vibration at like this life or death bridge, this spirit and physical bridge. You know, and you'll find this all throughout your life, probably, just weird experiences that no one else has. And it's when you fully consciously embody this life mission, this life purpose. And listen, you don't have to change your whole career. You don't have to make this your career. But like when you start acknowledging and exploring and learning how to gain control of this ability within you, life becomes a lot easier for you. And so I feel for some of you, your next chapter in life is embodying more of that, learning more about it, and connecting way deeper with your spirit guides. And also I'm seeing in the near future, I hope you consciously embrace this sort of Kundalini awakening, this sacral chakra awakening, where you allow yourself to express yourself even deeper through things like dance and music and art, sensuality, whatever your thing is, your creative thing that really asks you to act impulsively, intuitively, physically. It's just going to be so healing for you. And I'm seeing a lot of like really healing intuitive energy, you know, like intuitive stretching in yoga, for example, or very somatic dance or song. I'm seeing like people sing in light language, which isn't really a language. It just comes through very intuitively. Any musician, like just jamming and letting the music flow through you, very, very healing. You know, therapy isn't the only thing that humans need in order to heal and process. There's so many different options there. And some of you may feel resistant to things like therapy, which I know is like really huge right now. There are other methods to processing and experiencing and really putting yourself back into center. And by center, I mean that internal peace that we're talking about. You know, again, that peace, that happiness that you're looking for, it's not going to be found in your external goals, okay? It's found within you at any given moment. So if you can't access it right now, you know, you having $1 million, climbing that mountain, running that marathon is not going to have you in that state of peace. I promise you. You know, there's a Buddhist saying like that, you know, the only peace that you find at the top of the mountain is the peace that you bring there with you, you know? Your life experience, your reality and what's going on in your reality should not really be correlated with the sense of peace that you have. You know, you can cultivate and tap into this inner peace whenever, whatever your environment is. Now, granted, I will say, sometimes it's easier to connect with that sense of inner peace depending on your environment, but that's a story for another day. I feel like this next chapter in your life is one of like spiritual seeking and finding that peace within yourself. And I am seeing more somatic, like physical type of healing taking place here. Some of you may be helping heal other people as well through this very physical expression in life, whether that's your music, your dance, your art, or even just facilitating that like a healing space for other people to express themselves in that way. So really interesting. We have the full moon in Cancer coming out for you. A personal issue reaches resolution. This is amazing, guys. I feel like your next chapter in life, what is going to be taking place for you, is a lot of the really annoying issues in your life that were bothering you are going to get better. I am seeing visions of people's finances improving, for example, or really agitating, health issues improving. I'm also seeing like, as you sort of raise your vibration, and again, this is so similar to the other groups, you gotta watch the other groups. As you raise your vibration, the really annoying issues in your life are gonna sort of fall out. For example, you're focusing on your inner peace, you're doing things like, you know, healing, dance, art, music, whatever. And it's like, as that's happening, you may notice like your annoying neighbors move away. Like that one coworker that was extremely difficult, they just leave, they get a new job. You know, it's going to be really weird. Without your direct influence or control, life is just going to get easier for you as you tune back into this inner calmness and peace more and more and more. And you facilitate a healing space to allow this intuitive energy to like be processed and come forward. Life just kind of improves for you as a result as well. And it's going to be weird. It's going to be freaky. You're going to notice this in all areas of your life. Like, for example, you may have had a very difficult like family member your entire life. And as you do this healing within yourself, you may notice that family member just becomes more calm, more peaceful. Okay, because this energy within you, it is very contagious to the people around you. And the people around you who are in extreme resistance to this energy are just going to fall out of your life, okay? But you'll notice other people evolving alongside you, which is so beautiful. I'm sensing like a sense of pride and relief because people in your life who were really struggling with like mental issues or like just a tough time in life, and maybe that affected your relationship, I feel like you're gonna be really proud of what they're doing for themselves and who they're becoming, you know, and it's alongside you as well. It's all divinely connected. That's the thing. Like everything's connected. This is all connected. All the issues in your life is connected with your inner energy. And you're really understanding that on such a deeper level, like to your bones, to your core right now and in the near future. And I'm seeing so many happy shifts taking place. But guys, you need to allow room for this healing, and you need to stop worrying, stop doubting, because you're powerful. And, you know, sometimes when we make changes in our life, like you just need to stop convincing yourself that you're moving backwards or fear that like you're moving forwards 100%. Wow, we have soulmates. I love this, especially with the full moon in Cancer. Wow, yeah. As all of this is happening, you are going to attract kindred spirits who are just, they speak your language, you know? Here's what it says. You are meant to evolve and transform with the companionship of others. See, this is what we were literally just talking about, guys. Literally, as you heal and transform, the people around you will as well simultaneously, or they'll fall out of your life. Certain people enter into your life in order to take you to the next level of healing, consciousness, and authenticity. This is what I'm saying, man. You're this person for a lot of people on this planet, guys. A lot of people. So if any of you are in any type of field or industry where it's like you have a following or an audience, or even if you're just like having a lot of friends, you love connecting with people, you are making such a profound impact on people, and you may actually be expanding your reach in this next chapter of your life, connecting with a lot more people. Because you know what? The universe is seeing that you're tuning into that inner peace, seeing that you have a lot of value. You're creating value within yourself again by tuning back into the inner peace that was there all along, and just cultivating a really healthy atmosphere and energy within yourself. And people crave that. I feel like when people can see a healthy individual who is just totally at peace within themselves, like you become so magnetic. It's not even funny. It is always reciprocal experience, although the results of each of you will vary. You know these people by the strong pull drawing you towards them, and sometimes by a strong aversion to them initially too. See, that's what I'm saying. When you become this powerhouse of healing, just by being you and tuning into your inner peace, people will strongly be averted from you as well as pulled closer towards you. So you'll notice a lot more extreme reactions to you, people treating you like, oh my gosh, you're the best thing ever, but also people who get offended by you just existing. You know, it's just how it is sometimes, you know. It's not something I would worry too much about. Soulmates can be friends or for life, or remain in your life only for a short time. No matter what, you will be changed in ways you can't possibly fathom now. Pay attention to these people today. They are your greatest gift. So a lot of this change will be coming in with people in your life. Okay, it might even be facilitated by certain individuals in your life. And you're certainly going to create change in other people as well. So that's beautiful. I just saw Judgment flash up a little bit and then go back. Oh, we have the 7 of Cups coming out for you. Yeah, there's this sort of energy of overthinking, like what's next for me? Where do I go from here? Like what's the best decision? Which I saw so strongly in group number 1. Oh wow, yeah, we have the World coming out and the Queen of Wands in reverse. So interesting. So the World speaks heavily, first off, of you being very connected to your spirit guides. And again, this confirms what we were just saying. Any of you who are in the public light or wanting to do something that involves like an audience or a fan base or people, you're definitely being seen. Okay, just generally more popular, even if you're just like the average person. There's something about your energy that's becoming more magnetic, and you'll feel this shift as well, like strangers just coming up and talking to you more. It's just an energy shift. I don't know how to describe it. I'm also seeing a lot more travel in your future, actually. A lot more seeing the world and talking to people of the world. I don't know why I feel like your energy is becoming a lot more friendly, like a citizen of the universe, just trying to spread love and light wherever you go, which is really, really cool. I love that for you. Queen of Wands reverse does show me, though, that again, a lot of you have worries. You know, sometimes you don't feel like you're in control of your future and where things are going, and that's perfectly fine. So just be mindful of that. Let's see what else comes out. All right, we have the Hanged Man coming out upright, seeing things from a new perspective, a spiritual awakening happening. Wonderful. And then you also had the Three of Swords. Yeah, guys, there's going to be people leaving your life as this awakening happens. Very, very similar to group number 2. And you know what? The time I'm filming this is right before when eclipse season 2024 is going to be the strongest. So I am not shocked that the Three of Swords came out, because I feel that just in the collective right now, so many people are waking up, so many people are choosing healthier courses of actions and no longer wanting to subscribe to the post-industrial revolution, capitalism, and separation of community that a lot of us around the world are dealing with. Overworking, doing things, doing work, spending your life doing things that you're not passionate about, that don't set your soul on fire, ignoring your true gifts, you know, not having that sort of grounded discussion about, you know, things that may run in your family and your indigenous roots, no matter where you come from in the world. People are waking up to these things, and I see the same thing happening within you at a much higher degree than you've ever experienced in the past before. I'm feeling like your energy is really elevating at this time. The funny thing is, this is what I'm saying, it's all coming together now. You're gonna feel like you're moving backwards when you're actually moving forward. That's the thing. When you're moving forward in life, it's gonna feel like you're experiencing the opposite, okay? The perfect example of this is going to the gym and working out. When you're lifting weights, you have to lift like the max weight that your body can handle. And when you're doing that, you're going to feel really, really weak. You know, your muscles are literally going to give out on you. You're going to feel weak, but that is how you get stronger. When you're learning something new, like a new language, new instrument, you're going to feel so stupid. Like, I just can't get it. It's just not natural. But that's the thing. You have to experience that stupidity feeling in order to get more intelligent. And so right now, you guys are doubting yourself. You're like, man, I'm really like not growing, blah, 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 blah. And you're experiencing that because you actually are elevating, evolving, growing. And with that growth, there's certainly going to be a lot of endings, you know, just like a physical child growing out of their favorite clothes, their favorite pair of shoes. You're going to grow out of your physical environment as well. Even though your growth is spiritually and mentally based, you know, this will have implications on your physical reality. And I feel this so strongly in the collective. It keeps coming through in so many readings, and you're just proof of that. But the amazing thing is, you guys who selected group number 3, there are soulmates coming in and already in your life who are really going to play an important part in this journey. And look at that, 8 of Wands just flipped out. And this is literally the card of a lot of like invitations out, people really noticing you, people communicating to you, coming up and talking to you, and also very quick movement in your life. Like I said, a lot of annoying issues that you may have been dealing with, such as like either money, health, love, loneliness, problems, whatever, it's gonna be improving. Okay, and I'm just looking at this whole thing. I'm like, yes, this makes so much sense. With the Hangman, you're shifting your vibration. You're not even doing anything physically different. Some of you may be doing some little adjustments in your physical life and routine, but it's literally your energy is shifting. You're choosing to experience inner peace, even though your circumstances may not be ideal. That's the wisdom of the Hanged Man. He is not in an ideal reality here, but he knows that inner peace can happen no matter what your reality is. So he tunes into that. He sees things from a different perspective. And because his energy is so strong, and wow, look, Queen of Pentacles, he attracts beautiful new things in his life. And the Queen of Pentacles coming out as your last tarot card is also very significant because, you know, she represents, first off, like physical blessings, you know, money, health, prosperity, groundedness, soulmate energy that's very consistent and loyal, things like that. So that's what I'm seeing coming in for you. Some of you may have new contacts, a new contact here. This could be an older feminine woman, or it doesn't have to be a woman. Older feminine energy, very earthly, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They don't have to be one of those signs, but they can be. And this person is definitely here to stay. They inspire you. I'm seeing a lot of you taking pride in your home and your health and everything that you have to offer, and wanting to share your blessings with other people. Like I said, people are coming towards you because of the energy that you radiate, and it's like a give and take. You give off so much beautiful positive energy. People come to you and may exchange that energy in the form of like money or, you know, companionship, whatever. So here's your final card. This is a message from your spirit guides, from spirit. If you want to screenshot it, here's what it says. Dearest you, we have something exciting to share with you. You are a manifesting master, and you don't even know it. There will always be enough of everything that you need in your life: money, opportunities, love, kindness. So whatever you're asking guidance about, have faith and be open to the many ways in which you will experience prosperity. Spirit is the source of your supply. The universe is always reflecting back to you what you believe. So whenever you fall into insecurity, which was literally what your whole reading was about, you will be shown an illusion as if your fear were real. That's what I'm saying, guys. Oh my gosh, and that makes so much sense as to why the Seven of Cups came out as your first tarot card, because this is the card of illusions and not knowing what to do, and having so many future paths available to you. Wow. So your worries, your doubts about yourself manifests into a physical reality. Just like that. It takes so quick, you know? And if you have a really good idea, you'll also notice it'll manifest just like that. So you literally just need to change your internal energy in order to, you know, manifest the external results you want. That's what I'm saying. The universe is always reflecting back to you what you believe. So whenever you fall into insecurity, you'll be shown the illusion as if your fear were real. But the truth is that the universe is abundant. You are and always have been enough. Yes, that's what I'm saying. The peace was always within you. And abundance is your natural state. If you can imagine something consistently as truth, you can and will create it. You are so on the right path now. Keep believing. Then the seeing happens. Loving you more and more every day. See, what you got to do here, and where people really mess up, they experience a lack in something and they try to repeat affirmations to manifest it. For example, let's just say you feel very unprosperous. You don't have that much money. People get tripped up because they keep asking for money from the universe, when in reality, they have to recognize, even if they're in like the deepest poverty ever, they're homeless, they have nothing to eat, you know, there is abundance and prosperity all around them. Okay. And what they need to do is tune themselves into that. So they may look and see, oh, okay, well, I am very abundant when it comes to energy. Like I just have booming, bustling energy all day long. Or I'm very abundant when it comes to ideas for career and business. So I just got to focus on that and do those ideas, and then money will follow. Or, you know, maybe you're abundant in like free books to read, or like audiobooks, YouTube videos that inspire you and teach you. Keep focusing on that, and that abundance will overflow into the areas that you may be feeling lack. You know, that's how you tune into the energy of abundance, the flow of abundance. And I would say look for evidence all around you of what you're trying to manifest. If you're trying to manifest soulmate love, beautiful relationships, see the evidence all around you. Like even if it's just like two doves outside of your window snuggling, like, oh, that's a sign, there's the love. Like love is right there. It's so easy to access. Start noticing it everywhere in your life, in the present moment. That's the key to manifesting. Focus on what you do have in the present moment, even if it's not 100% what you asked for just yet. Okay, you may have a neighbor that always wants to talk to you. There's the love. There it is. Proof of it right there. So, you know, you may initiate some deeper conversations with that neighbor. You may tell that neighbor of you know, your desires and manifestations. You know, I that's another important tip that someone taught me. Like unknowingly, they weren't even talking about the law of attraction, manifesting. They're like, just put whatever you want out there and it'll find you. And so, yeah, I know there's controversial tips on this because some people say, like, don't tell anyone your manifestation. But for me, sometimes I think it's good to let people know. Like, I can't tell you how many times a manifestation has come through simply from me talking about it. Like, oh, yeah, I'm trying to move. And the person I'm telling that to is like, oh, really? Because I'm looking for a roommate, you know, like, move in with me. You know what I mean? It's like, it can happen just like that. So as long as you follow your intuition, I think you're good. But you're a manifesting master. Sorry, you don't even realize it. We all are. That's the thing. Your energy reflects back to you in your environment, and I feel that your next chapter in life is really one where you're changing your internal vibration and reality, focusing on peace and love and harmony and all that good stuff. So it's amazing, and things are going to move forward so swiftly with this change. If you already have felt this shift happening within you, I just want to let you know that it's going to continue to really, really evolve here. And I'm seeing major manifestations like money, popularity, success, and soulmates are coming through very strongly in particular. I'm also seeing a lot of you are somehow opening up like a channel, or like opening up some sort of environment or like group where you're facilitating healing within other people. So this is really interesting. And I'm not sure how this is going to manifest for you specifically. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comment section. But it's almost like you're creating a space for people to sort of have an alternative way to heal and connect with their sacral chakra. Okay, and this space can be as big as like 100 people or as small as one-on-one. Okay, this could be even in your like private relationships. Like, for example, if you're in a relationship, you may be getting into like tantra and creating a really sacred space to explore like sexuality or something. I don't know, it could be something as small as that, or something as big as like doing a woman's circle of like 100 people. You know what I mean? It can be anything, but you're sort of the facilitator of these healing spaces. And I feel like this runs in your blood. I feel like you are here to be a healer and all that. And I also feel guided to say some of the lack that you experienced in the past, such as like, lack of prosperity, wherever that may have fallen, was because the way in which you wanted that prosperity to come forward was really aligned with old paradigms in humanity. This could be a whole different reading, a whole different subject. And, which was very frustrating because it's like money is money. But, I feel like if you selected group number 3, you may have made a vow either in this lifetime or past lifetimes to never intentionally want to manifest something unless it was for the greater good. So, for example, that may have actually caused issues for you when it came to manifesting prosperity. But that is going to get better and better and better throughout your lifetime as humanity evolves, because it's like, it was almost like it was blocked before. Your ability to receive like either money or love or whatever, it was being blocked because the way it would have came in was not aligned with the greatest good of all. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, whatever. Anyways, I'm going to end this reading. Thank you guys for joining me. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below. I'd love to hear your stories, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and my spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Bye-bye.